Hi, welcome to Chapter 2 of Class 6th History NCERT textbook. I hope you have watched my videos of Chapter 1. If you haven't, then I will put the link in the description below. Please go and watch them first. So let's start. This chapter basically talks about the journey of ancient man from hunting and gathering up to the point when he had a good knowledge about agriculture and growing crops. Now the first question we have is, why were these ancient people always moving from one place to another? See, we know that these people are called as hunter-gatherers because of two simple reasons. The first is that they hunted animals and birds for their food. And the second is they also gathered naturally growing fruits, roots, seed, nuts, etc. as their food. So because of these two traits, we call them as hunter-gatherers. Now there are a few basic reasons of their movement from one place to another. The first is when they lived at one place for a long time, they would have eaten up most of the animals and naturally growing fruits and roots of that place. So of course, they will have to go to some other place in search of food. To understand the second reason of their movement, you must know that human being is at the top of the food chain triangle. Plants were eaten by animals, and animals, both herbivorous and carnivorous, migrated from one place to another either in search of plants or smaller animals. So as a result, human being also had to migrate and follow the footsteps of animals so that he could find them easily and hunt them. The third reason of their movement is very simple. We all know that not every plant will grow in every season. For example, we eat mangoes during summer season but not during winters because there are no mangoes growing during winters. So for this reason, they had to migrate. Fourth reason of their movement is the necessity of water. Ancient man always lived near water sources such as rivers, streams, etc. because we cannot live without drinking water. But not all rivers and streams were perennial. Perennial means flowing throughout the year. Some rivers were only seen during a particular period in a year, or sometimes they even got dried up due to scorching heat of the sun. So due to these reasons, they had to migrate in search of water. The next question is, how do we know so much about these people? The answer is because of archaeologists. These are the people who find out and study about the lives of people in the past and bring out to us the valuable information. They found that ancient man mostly used stone, wood and bone to make his tools, and as the stone is the hardest amongst them, we see that most of the tools found are made up of stone, as they could survive the harsh weather conditions. Ancient man used these tools for various purposes, like cutting the meat, chopping fruits and roots, peeling off the bark of tree, cutting the wood, etc. etc. Also, he attached these sharp stones on the head of wood handles to make a spear called as bhala in Hindi. Wood was a very important resource at that time, as it was not only used to make a weapon but also used as a firewood to give heat, light and cook raw meat. In this picture, you can see how a stone is being used to dig up the ground to collect edible roots. And in this one, stone is used to stitch up the cloth made up of animal skin. Now have a look at this map. All these places marked with various colorful symbols are archaeological sites where we found evidence of ancient people living. The places marked in red, that is Bhimbetka, Kurnul Caves and Hunsgi, are few of the sites where we found traces of hunter-gatherers. There are many more such sites, but they are not marked on this map. Now you tell me, what is the common characteristic amongst all the archaeological sites marked on this map? Of course, they are all near water sources. Only a few major rivers are marked on this map, but if you look at the map of rivers in India, you will find there are more than 400 rivers flowing, which is a beauty in itself of this country. Now have a look at this picture. It is taken at Bhimbetka, about which we talked a few moments back. At this place, we found a lot of natural caves which early humans used to protect themselves from heat, rain and wind. And to your surprise, this place is also located near a water source, that is river Narmada. Let me tell you one more thing here. Rock Shelters in Bhimbetka has a beautiful collection of cave paintings on their walls. And this is true with most of the ancient cave sites, because people in those ages used to paint their daily activities, hunting scenes, family life, etc. on the cave walls in their free time after their basic necessities of food, water and shelter were fulfilled. Here in this picture, you can see a rock painting in which a man is running behind an animal to hunt it. I am using the word site again and again. Let me clarify this word a little bit. A site means any place where we find things which were made, used and left over by the early human beings. These things can be tools, pots, bones, etc. etc. found on the surface of the earth, below the earth or even below the water surface. Now have a look at this map again. This is Kurnool Caves, a Paleolithic site where we found traces of ash. And we read a few moments back that at this site traces of hunter-gatherers were found as well. That means hunter-gatherers were familiar with the use of fire. Of course, they must have used it as a source of light, to cook food and scare away animals. Even today, many places which are still not developed at all, we find people using fire for the same purposes. In order to keep the video short, I will cover the rest of the chapter in my upcoming videos. Till then, take care, bye bye, Jai Hind.